Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. You wish there, Red. You were very close to being first. Very close. But no cigar. No, I do like that wallpaper, actually. I had to do a quick Google, so I lost basically all the files I would have used normally. But I would actually kind of like maybe a print like that. That'd be like a really cool idea for a print, in fact. I could do a lot of variations on that. Oh, that'd be cool. But yeah, I got the turn. I have had to reinstall Warner Pacific just completely, so hopefully everything should work. And there may, in fact, be... I don't know, I'm hoping that the volume isn't crazy. But I make no promises, and I'm just as likely to be deafened as you are. We'll double check things. And in theory, I should have installed some mods to actually change the icons of aircraft and stuff in combat, etc. In theory. I don't know if it'll work. It seems to happen every couple of months now where I have to reinstall more. Wow! God, that's loud. Okay, I apologize about that. Okay. Let me just go ahead and preemptively turn it yet further down. Just to be safe. Yeah, I know, right? I did warn you. I did warn you. Okay. Chinese overlords. Not so ancient secret. Oh dear. Yeah, hopefully everything's okay. I mean, volume's on 1, so we'll see how we go. Oh, the joys of having to sort the audio out once again. Ooh, that sounded a little bit loud. I feel like I may have to turn that down again. It's on 1, so... Yeah, I haven't changed everything. I need to find the one that changed the flags to the bases again, but we'll see. I've got the main ones. I'm super tempted to turn it down right now, but I think I'll probably bugger it. But we'll see. We'll see how we get on. Ooh, that is a bit loud, isn't it? Okay. Yeah, I just feel like that probably will deafen us, so maybe it'll bugger the things, but I don't know. But as long as it doesn't deafen us, that's okay. We'll figure it out as we go along then. Okay. Now, sounds about okay. It does worry me that too. Hello. Oh, nice. Oh, very nice. Did you find a tanker out here? Okay. Fuel cargo burden. I'll take that. The audio does sound louder, but that's that's a nice way to start out there. So the Athelstan seems... Athelstan. I'm going to assume it's the Athelstan. Very nice. So that's a tanker. I'm not entirely sure what class of tanker, but it should look to be a larger one. Not that large, but a larger. Fuel cargo burning is a good sign. Yeah, she goes down there. God damn, this game is loud. Let me go a little bit further. We have to be more brutal. Apologies. Right, okay. That's a considerable difference from the 100 that we had at the start. Down to the 50. Down to the 10. Now we're down to 5. Okay. It should probably be around about the right level now. Yeah, the loss of ear into the weapon gods, indeed. Now, I can talk a little bit more about what we have going on in return. I'm not expecting anything large unless he actually does give us that. I did reduce the range of the G4s. They'd accidentally been put on 14. I had meant to put them down and must have forgotten about it. But I've formed up 3 new service task forces at Lunga. Changed out a couple of the actual captains, so we do have the BBs together with 60Ds as escort. They actually do have a task force commander, and the captain, I think it's a Nagato there, or it's a Musu. I forget which one it is, but it's of the Nagato class. She's commanded by 91 Naval Task Force Commander. Captain and Task Force Commander now, as he's in charge. Seeing nice effect from the B5 and 2s. Okay. Yeah, playing as modern Japan now, yes. Oh god, I wish. I mean, it'd be nice to have some, like, modern ships. Yeah, I do need to change out the flags. I forgot which one it is. That's the only thing. I should really make backups. So a couple aircraft out. Oh, I think it's changed them. Are they different? I can't remember what they look like. I think they're different. You'd think I'd know by playing the game consistently. They're actually not at 9k, they're actually at 6k. Hey, good net, Dutchy, good to have you, my man. I think they're different, I can't well tell. Okay. We will have the armored unit that was here arrive here today. I'm hoping the Chinese unit I had here will arrive here as well. And then in theory we should have Chongqing surrounded for the most part. Yeah, 6k, I mean this is it, I can't be sure they don't have any AA, but I also don't have the salaries in production right now. How you doing there, Vulcan? How you doing, my man? That's a fair amount, yes. I'm trying to move a few more. I think they might be the... I forget which ones they are now. There's a single-engine bomber, and it's a pain in the ass to actually get into China. I've had to move it to Bangkok. No, not Bangkok. I forget which one it is now. Okay. Jake destroyed by cap. So there's definitely... That's rather annoying, in fact. But there's definitely carrier cap around that area. Or it could be coming from the actual air bases, like F8, Luganville. But I feel like it's probably carrier. But we do see a couple task forces in that area here today. Okay, 3k is safe, then. It's good to know. I think I've changed them all now. Well, I can go down to 3k, but... I think it might be Bangkok. No, it's not Bangkok. Cam Ranh Bay, I think it is. Or Saigon. No, I think I had to move them to Saigon. I have to then move them to the island of Hainan to then move them to Nanning. I think it's Nanning in China. And then I could move them up. Yeah, I need to edit these. I need to add the mobs there. So I've got the vanilla things here, but that's okay. Okay, so, relatively quiet turn, but very quiet turn. That's fine enough. He attempted to come in for a bombardment last turn. It seems that the submarines caused issue with his ops points, so he had to return as he wasn't able to get in and out during the night phase, it seems. So that's quite good. He didn't spend fuel for that. It's a shame though, because I did have the G4s accidentally set to a range higher than desired. It's a shame that they didn't target the actual ships though, because that could have actually worked out well enough, but alas. What Bodden does to a man. Indeed. Yeah, I can imagine. How's your game going, Vulcan? If you can tell me. I'm just so glad that I actually found a way to just make it easier to set up the channels on the Discord. Free. I don't know. Whichever one you want to talk about. Then. Oh, yeah. Are you going to be playing vanilla or are you going to be playing like a modded one? How did that one go with, because you made a modification that allowed you to build rails, didn't you? How did that one go in the end? Did it cause any issues with the game? I can't imagine it doing much. Interesting though. All my games are modded. Yeah, well, all my friends are dead. Now the bombardments are remarkably long. Okay, 195 now. So we'll go lower on the altitude. I have been meaning to do that, but I kept forgetting. So, numbers there. 172. Now, I do wonder if this is the amount of actual combat troops, because there's around about 300k there. Maybe this is just the amount of actual troops. Okay, that number will rise short enough. Just waiting on the armor to come back once we're finished around here. I do wonder then, because he does have these units that were here. I'm hoping that they've actually arrived here at Kyanko, so that would make things rather convenient. Ouch. Changsha has a fair amount. Probably Changsha has more artillery than Chongqing right now. Okay, Fortification's going up as a good thing. Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. I'll have to take a look at that one day. It could be really interesting. Do you have it affected by the terrain, or? I remember you telling me about it some while ago, actually. Okay, very quiet turn. Genuinely do not mind that. It just, well, genuinely. It just lets us get things in position, really. I had to rest a number of zeros around the Solomon's area. Like, some had some pretty high fatigue. We had a lot of shifting around. When new AP is always a good thing. Always very handy. Hey, didn't that Os? I saw you yesterday, Os, there. You'd commented on the test stream, didn't you, for one of these two that I did last night. And then I didn't see you on the one afterwards, so... I'm good. How are you doing? Okay. That's interesting then. So well, we sank one tanker out here, which is very good. Do I actually see that in the, hang on a second. See, I haven't actually done anything, and it seems to be good. Usually I would have to save and come back, so that's cool. I need to get the mods that change these pictures. Maybe I'm just crazy. A little bit of A, a little bit of B. So take a look over here, yeah, the Athelstan. So 18, yeah. So she's not the largest one, but she's quite nice. Those look larger when you actually see them being attacked out there. But again, that's pretty good. Capacity there's the one that we want to look for. So that is interesting then. So moving west. As she was carrying fuel cargo. Oh, that's interesting. We do have them out here. Oh, now it does feel a little bit jerky, actually. How does it feel jerky? Okay. I'm just going to make a quick save and reopen it then. Maybe I'm just insane. Well, we've sank a good number of the actual tankers. We've sank a number of AOs as well. We could have sank more. But we have had a spate of bad luck in recent days too. But I think we have managed a number of those tankers. Which is important. As everybody knows, really. How you doing there, son? Ah, it's my Swiss sugar daddy. We sank a tanker at the start, there, son, and that was about it. That was about it. It's going to keep asking me about the database thing. I forget what I need to ask Dadman about that, to make sure we're both in the same database again, because I think he made some changes, but I cannot remember now for the life of me. Yeah, if I take a look at the actual tankers. Now, of course, we don't see all of them that we've actually sank, because we didn't have confirmations. At least for all of them. So if we go over here, then sort by just tanker here, and then if I throw AOs in there, sort by points. Now, I do believe that we have sank possibly more tankers than AOs in this, but it's not bad so far. Taking out some of these larger ones are quite nice. I'm sure we have had larger ones. We did see a couple of black hole ones, the British ones. But again, they're not going to be all listed here. Or maybe I just had a different mod that changed the look of them. Could be either or. But not bad, it's something that we're trying to get up there. Oh, it's not it's not new mod there, son. What happened is I had to reset my laptop, like factory reset. So I've had to try... Luckily it didn't reset the other hard drive, so I've got things on those, but I lost the actual main things I was using on the actual main drive. So I had to reinstall the game today. So I can't remember every mod I had, but I just got the basic ones. So yeah, we'll fill things back in. So it should be just the basic weather. Oh no, it's this weather. Is that a basic weather? I don't know. I think that's the basic weather. Okay. I'm gonna have to take a look at the mods I had beforehand. I should really make a backup of them. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, we got some nice ones. I'm sure we've had more. I'm sure. Or at least we've hit more. Maybe we didn't sink them, but I'm sure we've damaged more. But I am sure that we have sunk a couple extra there as well. Have to have a look at that. Okay, so... now that appears to be the carry force out there. We did have another Jake shot down, which is interesting. Might have been that one around this sort of area. Or even possibly out here. So I followed up 3 task forces over here then. Yeah, I'm gonna have to change that. Decided to opt for 3 heavy cruisers and 5 destroyers. Over here you've got 4 and a Shinsu. I might even change that out for a destroyer, to be honest. I wanted to have the BBs concentrated. I've given them the best commander that I could find at the moment. So we do have a 91 naval commander over here. He's very aggressive, of course, but he's in command of the Masu. So that's quite good. At least we have a very good, very strong naval in charge there. You have Hiro 76 there. What I'm going to go ahead and do, I think I'll probably do this turn, is I'm going to go ahead and take a look through the IGN and just try and find really good captains. And if we can concentrate the actual fine-ass captains with the high naval into these task forces that are likely to be attacked, it'll increase their survivability. It'll also increase their ability to actually score a goddamn hit, really. He has told me that he's using Halsey, and I forget the other one now, but he's using very high naval USN task force commanders to command his actual forces out here. Obviously acting as captains as well, so he's got a lot of naval, which is probably helping him to avoid a lot of our damage, really. So we'll turn that on him. Is a raid on the Australian west coast off the table? Not particularly. Like, I'd like to try and take Exmouth over here, which I could take it, or even another base around this area. But I'd like to have something where I could probably have some H6K4s or even G3M3s if we've got the airfield or something of that nature. And just essentially be able to actually run Reconnaissance out over here, just try and make it a little bit harder for him. So if I take a look, I mean, if I was to take the G3M3's range of 21, I think it is normal, up to 26 extended. Yeah, so that would be in range of the G3M3 over here at Exmouth. Obviously, if I was to go to the H6K4 normal, that'd be 20. Essentially, that's what I'm going to do. H6K4s would probably be useful over here. Of course, I'd run a risk, but I think it's something I could probably get away with doing. Or even out here. And just have a naval search actually extended further out here would be quite nice. But yeah, eventually I would like to take the northern coast of Australia, but it's not that high on the agenda, really. As things advance, it will change, though. Okay. Now, the AO that had previously been hit, Shiratoko, she's on her way back to Surabaya. Have her repairs. I did one with this task force over here. Not that one. Then I'm going to actually disband that one. There we are. So they're fully repaired. Upgrades are a little while off though. Let me make sure that I've got the chat updating properly. You can get the game. Oh yes, actually that's a really good point. You should get the game now. Actually, I know that shout. Sounds like a shield thing, but really isn't. Let me go ahead and just find it. I don't need the forum. Oh. I know it's probably spelled wrong. But it's on sale right now. For... I think £12 UK. Yeah, there you go. You're down from 63... Well, £64 down to $12.9... Oh, sorry, $12.80. That's a really effing good deal. So, yeah, if you can buy it, then buy it now, to be honest. So that's a very effingly good deal. Yeah, that is a great discount. I mean, there's a lot of other titles on there as well. I think one of these two is on sale as well, actually. I think that's been reduced, but I'm not entirely sure. At last, it's not on Steam, but who knows? Maybe one day they might do something. Okay. So the forces over here with Nanking Naval Guard have arrived over here at Guangzhou. Have they unloaded? Almost completely. 348 there. So I'm going to tell them to dock up and then return to Canton. Oh, no, they could stay here. It doesn't make that much of a difference. I'm going to have them return to Canton in case I need to move anything else. It's not too far to move, and I do have APs if I were to move troops alone. So, yes, they're here now. I'm going to... Well, I'm waiting on the 8th Tank Regiment to arrive there. Yeah, okay. So they're not far out now. They'll arrive there shortly enough. What I'm going to go ahead and do then, I don't actually need a garrison here. I'm going to have them begin to march. And it's going to take a little bit of time to get to Pakoi. We'll have to take that road over there. So I'm going to have them begin marching. They'll unload fully this turn. And we'll get them on the way. I do have... They're taking actually a lot longer than I would have anticipated to load. Why is that? 67th there. Okay, so there's 1 squad and 22 support squads there. That's likely why then, due to the actual damage to the port, yeah. I'd completely forgotten that the port was very heavily damaged. So yeah, that's fair enough. I'll let them off on that one. We did manage to net a good amount of light industry there. Quite nice, in fact. Yeah, I'll let them off on that one then. Yeah, I do like one of these two, as you can imagine. I'd pick that up if it's on sale too. Again, I don't get anything for shilling. I should be recommending it because I enjoyed the game. Okay, so I'm still waiting on them to move there. Yeah. Once I do cross over there, we'll attack them. I've got the armored units over here that upgraded. Oh, Vulcan, I don't know if you were here last time, but we have had a number of our armored units actually upgrade to the Type 1 tank, the Type 1 medium tank over here. So in the near future, I will ask you if you could do a test for me once again when I get all the armor over here to Chongqing. So it does make me wonder though. So we've gone from having about 30 armor with the Type 89 to having about 50 with the Type 1. So in theory, should be more survivable. We also do have a more effective gun as well, so in theory may have a better chance. But of course the numbers have increased, but the guns haven't, so who knows about that one. We do have these forces return to Chongqing over here. Yeah, making relatively good progress there. Right, and should have had some HQs arrive here today. Yep, so the 11th Army has arrived, as has the 1st Army here. Let's have that set there. Not that it matters all that much. Right, there we are. Now, it does feel like a very long time waiting, and I must admit it does. I can feel that too. But each day that these guys are here, they are benefiting from the amount of support that's here. Like, for example, 38th has 656 support available to it, which means that it will... I mean, obviously, 38th it's a really good division, but it's a bad example for that one. But yeah, it's such divisions as a 4th division over here, 528 support. They'll recover that much sooner. Each day is another day of preparation for attacking Chongqing as well. But the intention is going to be to have the armor actually attack, have everything else support via bombardment, and really try to degrade his supply within the actual city of Chongqing, and ideally take down fortifications. That's going to be the big thing there. If we could take down fortifications, that would be excellent. He is going to be at least a level 6 now, maybe higher, who knows. But taking down any level of fortification would be well worth it. And then once the fortifications would drop significantly enough, we'd bring the infantry in as well. But yeah, it's going well enough over here then. There are a couple of forces on the way too. Additional artillery is moving out there, so that's bringing us another 146 guns total. Another couple out here, another 29 total. Obviously it includes the AA. So not true representation. That's another couple more tanks there. Yeah, another 57 tanks. And then we do have a number of divisions and tanks around this area. Once I take Pakoi, then I will take that base and then attack these units over here, force them either to surrender or just make them irrelevant. And then we can push on towards Chongqing then. I do have the 3rd Division over here. That's marching to the north. The regiments of the 3rd Division are going to occupy these hexes here. Oh yes, so the 2nd Tank Regiment has arrived here. So they can move into the city as well. I'm just leaving the mortar unit over here just to hold that hex. And we do have this element of the C division. Of the 23rd division, I should say. Yeah. So C's there. A could probably take over Van and have B move in there. Probably be done that much sooner. And, well, what I can go ahead and do then is I have 10 for A there. That's 1/16th. I'll use 1/16th Division to garrison Chengdu. I don't know where the rest of 10th is. Probably at Sining Kenko. Yeah, so I'll use that other element of the 10th to actually go ahead and occupy the city here. Once I do get more appropriate forces out here to occupy, that'd be a lot easier. Try and free those divisions of ascension in the future. But before I do forget, then I will lower the altitude. So we'll go down to 3K then. I believe we're actually pushing a couple then, it seems. There we are. Yeah, that's the group. Sonoyas. These guys are pain in the ass. They don't have that great of a range, so they're a bit of a pain in the backside to move around. So I need to move them over here to Samar. Well, at least I do have some aviation support there. I kind of like this unit. I really would. I wish I could move that, because that's got some nice guns in there. And I think those are part of the TOE, so that'd be a nice unit. Yeah, being part of the TOE is very nice. But yeah, having the 12cm dual purpose guns, the 80 mils, and again more 80 mils there, is actually really quite nice. This is a unit that I'd like to move elsewhere. So in general, it's pretty bloody good. It's just a shame it's over here on Hainan, and Hainan doesn't really have that much purpose for us here in the game. Okay. Right, artillery's arrived over there, so they're going to be moving out there to the north. So yeah, we are moving quite a bit, ultimately, towards the area. Additional artillery moving in there too. So eventually we will have that all coalesce over here at Chongqing. I know it says Chongqing, but I'm going to go with the Chinese pronunciation to Chongqing. Because I find it really funny actually when talking to Chinese friends. I'm like, oh yeah, Xi'an, and they're like, Xi'an? You mean Xi'an? I'm like, yes, that's the one. It does make it quite a hoot when you're reading through Chinese history and you're like, yeah, it depends on the book really, because a number of them have different names for either the same individual or the same place, and it gets a little bit spicy. Trying to figure out which one they actually mean sometimes. Alright. But no, it sounds like I'm fairly good, fairly solid. Just getting things in position, really. Now, should... Yeah, so the fuel... so it's one turn away then. Okay, so it'll arrive in the night then. Yeah, so we have our delivery of fuel over here. That's good. I probably will place a service task force over here then to make sure it's properly looked after there. You already have one? I'm confused. Okay. Now, additional forces have arrived over here, so we are unloading additional aviation support, which is actually really quite nice. These guys moved in over here to refuel. Gonna have them move out. Yeah. Do have quite a few APDs in the area. I think there's another 4 APDs to arrive shortly enough. Where are they? They're very close in the area somewhere. Ah, there we go. So I tell them to actually disband here. Do have another 2 DDs over here. And then the 4 APDs. So we do have quite a few APDs. Do you want one for a giveaway? What's that? Is it what, a Chinese friend? Oh, one Pacific. Yeah, sure, if you like. It's up to you. Probably would help me to do something professional, but yeah, that'd be quite nice. If you wanted to share, then that'd be pretty cool. Could definitely arrange something there. Okay. What I'd like to go ahead and do then is have the ARs. It's a difficult one because we don't gain ARs for quite a long time. But I don't know, it depends really. I'd like to have at least one of them brought over here to Lunga. 2 would be nice. whatever I could manage would be quite good, just to make sure that we actually do have repair capabilities over here. But it does make you wonder. Oh, thanks, son. I'll figure something out for that, but that's very generous of you. I'm sure people will appreciate that. We also do have an Akazi and Asagor. I had been loading up some Naval Guard. I'm going to have them sent out to Kitakina. Right, I do have the midget sub carrier here. She's there to pick up that midget sub. So we need to refuel her. That's the only difficulty with the midget subs, is that you need to have a little bit of fuel actually at location to really make use of them. I'll have her taken back to Talai to refuel, and then we'll move her further out. So she can move out that way. So take a look at the area then. We do see the likely British carriers out there. Yeah. A fair amount of guns and airfields there. It's a shame because I did want to invade Luganville. Had it not been for the timely intervention of the carriers, then yeah, might have been able to make something of that. Not to say that there won't be opportunities in the future. There certainly will be. And we are fighting. Okay, so we do see AO apparently over there. It's a support task force, more than likely. We are fighting somewhat with an arm behind our back, so we do have Kitabatai in port. Shokaku, Zukaku undergoing upgrades at this moment in time, which will be worthwhile in the end. We do have forces moving out to the Gilbert Islands. Kinda hoping that they don't die. Yeah, advanced moving supply out here to Tarawa. I may in fact have that moved out here to Tibet, whatever you want to call it. In fact, I probably will go ahead and do that. So I'm going to be building up this island here. I do have the two light cruisers over here, Nakana and Kuma. They're moving out to aviation coys out here, which we're going to have set up on that island. Do have the aviation units there. I'm then going to go ahead and move that base force out elsewhere, really. Moving a couple troops out there too. A Naval Guard would be very nice in Tarawa, something of that nature. What is actual trade in Tarawa? Atoll. Yeah, Atoll's a bit rough. I used to value it, but I had it wrong. Shame. So I do have the Fuso moving back. It was great over here for the time, but I just feel like we need to have that concentration of force where we actually have our force, if that makes sense. So I'm going to have them return over here to Rabaul, and they could probably escort a AR down south. But yeah, I'll have them link with the BBs. I just need something, because we have seen Prince of Wales in the area. I've no idea what sort of damage she's taken. I don't think she's taken anything major. I mean, we did have it there for the Haruna, which is a fun thing to say again. That's always fun. I can say it every now and then. But yeah, we did obviously see that there's a fair concentration of surface forces out there. And a couple of heavy cruisers isn't going to be enough to stop that. I mean, it's not so much about being able to stop it in a sense. It's essentially making it so we can slow them enough to hit them with torpedoes in the day. That's kind of what we need there. So I'd like to concentrate on the BBs. Shame we don't have another one, but we'll manage. Yeah, but yeah, sorry, things are generally moving along nicely. Now I'm going up to size 2 there. As to whether I expand that today, I'm not too sure. Might be better just to hide our power levels to an extent. But it wouldn't hurt to actually have that. He does have bombers over here, we just haven't seen what they are. We have to assume that there is some B-17 presence in Australia, so we have seen them out here before. But not for quite a while, really. So it's hard to say. I do have that Dino available to move, so I'll move that later on, in fact. Just make a save before I do move that in case it goes awry. But yeah, I did move things around over here. I noticed that, now let's take a look. We have the first KUK, which is 97 morale. We have this one over here, the Kanoyo KUK1, which is 74. I did move the other G4 group back to Rapal and stood them down. Their morale had dropped to 22. I think it was 22, but it's now up to 36. So it seems that given rest, they will recover morale. And I think that may have been influencing their effectiveness in a large sense. We also do have all the 53 in the actual pool, so we can build that group back on. Again, I don't want to keep losing G4s. It's a rather massive pain in the ass. Yeah. Right, then moving the first raiding regiment in here. And then we can actually have that dropped off. I'm going to use that to secure islands in the area. The good thing is it gives us additional AV in that area too, which is not bad. And being able to actually move it is quite useful. We could potentially use that in a number of ways. But I'd like to take control of these islands over here, where able. Or even down this way, could be quite interesting. Who knows about that? It gives us an option for something that's quite mobile then. Let's see. We do have our large fuel convoy on the way here. And that's heading to Naval. Now that would bring us 182k of fuel, which is very nice. As one would wager. We just had a delivery of our supply arrive. Yeah. So quite handy events. So Naval is now, I mean, they were just hovering over 20k last turn. They're now at 49k. So that's quite a big increase in supply there, which is very important for us. That definitely will help us in this area, just in the long run. Getting a huge shipment of fuel would be very good. But I mean, this is the thing, it's 182k, which is a lot of fuel, but it'll keep us going for a little while, but not for very long, really. So we will want to have more fuel moved out here. Essentially, what we want to do is have Naval become the new truck. Truck began the war with a very large stockpile of fuel. I think it's something like 300k or something of that nature. And that does dissipate quite quickly. It's quite shocking how quickly you will use that up if you're pretty active. Okay. Now, so in general, things are moving quite nicely. We did position zeros over here. We've had, we had the first KUS 1, B, and A positioned over here in Mindanao. And the reason being, they're in a more central location, so we can actually move them to where we really need them to be. Which could be quite handy. Also have to build the infrastructure in terms of aviation support as well in locations. I do have a large number of engineers over here that will be bought out in the future. It's just not the cheapest thing to do. So it's like a case of priority, really. Okay. But now generally things are going well then. They pick up the last of troops there. Yes, I did. So I do have this element to the 21st. They were the ones that were aboard a AP that was sank out here. The rest of them are ashore on Guam, but I'm going to go ahead and have them moved out to Guam in the near future then. The good news is that the Marianas has been fortified a decent extent. I mean, Saipan's looking good there. I mean, it's a level 5 forts here at the moment. We'll up that. And with it being jungle, that is really good. Like, the Marianas are actually pretty damn defensible. They're not gonna like hold up to anything sustained. It'd been better had they been times 3 defense, but the times 2 is still pretty damn good, to be honest. I've got to say. So quite happy to make use of that. Well, we'll celebrate Christmas out in the periphery. Yeah. Alright, so things are going generally well enough. Still building up the actual NICs, still building up the G4 freeze, and then we'll be able to make use of them. So we are getting there. Yeah, fairly quiet turn. He's been remarkably quiet. These B5s are doing very nice, in fact. You can see they're doing very well. I want 69. I do like the double on. I mean, it was a big risk to have her move down there to Naval, and I may yet regret it one day. But in fairness, I feel like I've actually got some use out of her. I feel like I've got more use out of her than I would normally. But saying that, that's one of those things, isn't it? It's like if I wanted to make use of it, I would have sent units out there. So I've saved fuel to some extent. And I suppose it's convenient, but yeah, either way. So Aiden's up there at size 7. 116 has been upgraded. Kenko, good. Yeah. Fortified Toyohara, Lasho. I'm just essentially making sure that we have fortifications in place now. Akita expands to size 6. Yeah, just light losses here today. That went to air-to-air, which is interesting. So that's cap, obviously. Yeah. So we're at 25k here at the moment. It would have been better had he not sunk a Runa, because it would have given me a little bit more of a ratio there. But it's not that long before we actually do make the attack over here. I've started placing down fortifications over here in Burma proper. So the division elements, these regiments are moved out here. They're building up fortifications at these bases. In fact, we should have had the rival. Yes. Yeah, so they've dropped off troops over here. So we do have elements of these regiments. I don't think they're complete regiments. I think there's still some elements back at Batavia. But yes, we do have a number here. And I eventually will have to reform the 16th Division one day if I ever have spare points, or it'll just be utilised as regiments forever, either or. But there's a number of bases here that I would like to garrison, really. I'd like to increase the amount of Japanese garrison in Burma proper. I have moved out Thai divisions. I'm hoping I don't come to regret that, but I think it's quite useful. Move them into China so we can actually garrison China just more effectively, really. Yeah, this element over here is going to remain in place to fortify with all 4 engineers, which is actually pretty good as far as it goes. Yeah, so they're building up forts over here at Paoshan. The rest are moving on out here. Once they arrive in China proper, then I can use them for the garrisons and eventually be able to concentrate more force, which is very nice. Very useful. But I'd like to go ahead and move another Japanese division in here. Maybe another 2 Japanese divisions in here. Depending on what direction we go, I may move the anti-tank guns into here as well. But the anti-tank guns are quite interesting. Possibly even having them massed on islands could be quite useful if we expect them to come under invasion, really. But we'll see. San Fran. Okay. I do feel that counterattacks will be coming in the near future. Oh, I'd forgotten to split those. I'll do that later. I think they've only just arrived in that area. Yeah. I just want to get some fortifications there, Torihara. We're fortifying over here. I do have some fuel moving out here to Panama Shirojima. Now, Panama Shirojima is not that far from being a level 3 now, which is good. After that, they can just continue to fortify the island. These islands are being fortified as well. I just need to get a small garrison over here to that island. Just as long as each of these islands are actually garrisoned, then that's worthwhile. It means that there's no easy entrance for him, no easy entry. Gives us something to work with then. No, I'd like to say that there's more to take a look at here today, but in all honesty, it's a pretty quiet turn. And that means that we'll get pretty quickly, so that's both a good and a bad thing. They're taking along nicely enough. That'll be coming down short enough. So we'll have A6M8 by the end of the year. That'd be quite nice. Or around about the start of the next year, but we'll have them soon enough. Which could say that the Tojo will be arriving sooner, but it is getting there. It's just taking a pretty sweet time. Well, at least we'll have the production then available. Key 83. I can't remember how many 8s we had, but I think we only had the 1 8 last time, so I think we may have a second 8 over here now, which is good. I think so. So that's looking very nice. Cool. And, yeah, Judy's progressing. That one should be repaired soon enough, and then these other ones are not too far behind. I am looking forward to when we get that. So when we get those, I should say. The Jills would be nice to have too. That one's not too far away from finishing off. It'll still take time, but not that far off. That one's not going to arrive really that much earlier. Earlier, really. Maybe a month earlier or 2 at absolute most, probably. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so just making progress, really. Yep, indeed. Just waiting down here apparently. Once we manage that, can then finish up over here, then have these forces move out then. We'll bring the 5th and Imperial up over here to Chongqing then. Or Chongqing. Where's 17th Division? Have they already been shifted up? Ah, here we go, yeah. I knew that they were due to arrive short enough. So we do have 27th and we do have 17th Divisions here. So they're going to march up the road. That remains there. Yeah, so that brings us another 2 divisions there. So that's another 4 divisions to move into the area then. Quite handy. That is another headquarters I can make use of. Very nice. Aye. So that's what, 900 AV there. Around about 900-ish. Another army. But obviously the tanks over here, they'll be moving out there. So we will concentrate really... load of AV at Chongqing, really. That is going to be like a pretty large amount of AV. Now, ideally the actual... ideally using the tanks does actually benefit us, and I hope it will do. We have had a number of vehicle upgrades going out. That vehicle pool has dropped from around about 11k, and it's down to about 8k right now. It was previously the 7k. We have had a number of upgrades go ahead. So we can see that upgrading vehicles is so expensive for points. I do wonder how expensive it will be when we do attack. But as long as they're disabled, I can recover them without having to replace them. So that's quite good. And that's kind of really what we're hoping for there. But yeah, until next time, thank you for watching there, ladies and gents. I hope you've had a great time. And yeah, just generally having things progress, really. Yes, these are the zeros over here. They had about 40-50 fatigue last turn, so I've been able to rest them to a degree. I'm going to have to take a look into the actual morale thing. If I can, I'd like to try and have that other group of G4s rest. Stand down a little bit to try and raise up morale. Or even of these groups as well, if we could try to raise their morale, that could be quite a good thing to do there. But there we are. Thank you for watching. Until next time, Jane Sayonara. Take care. And if you guys would like to support the channel, you can do that in a very nice, very sexy way, if I may say so myself. And that is by becoming a patron. Even just £1. I will eventually do something with Patreon to actually make it worthwhile. I think I'll get a print, actually kind of styled on this one that I've got up as a background now, so that's kind of cool in fact. I could do quite a lot of that. But if you'd like to support the stream, the stream I guess and the channel as well, £1 definitely would help. But whatever you can manage, if you can't manage it, that's fine. If you don't feel I've earned it, that's fine too. Hope to see you again next time. Goodbye for now, see you next time.